Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. I heard we have about 500 people who registered, and I would like to thank all the people who could make it to this session. So our topic is about the delving into Morocco's green energy sector investment drivers. Every keyword you would pick up in this theme is very important, whether we are talking about green energy or we are talking about investments, or of course, Morocco, one of the leading growing countries in Africa and North Africa, as well as the Middle East, and also in some sectors being a leader globally as well, like in the phosphate and other investments as well. So my name is Maher Chebo. I'm the Managing Director Europe for Universe, which is a global company focusing 100% on clean tech and decarbonization, smart technologies, smart renewables, smart storage, smart infra, and carbon management based on artificial intelligence. And we are part also of a larger group which is manufacturing among the top 4 wind turbines, manufacturing batteries, green hydrogen, green ammonia, and also battery energy storage. So it's my pleasure to be here as well as an ambassador of the Net Zero Circle. And I have a fantastic panelist here that I'm going to introduce. A few words about my background. I have been working on the energy, renewable energy and decarbonization and digitalization for the last 30 years plus. Spent a lot of time at SAP, more than 20 years as the General Manager, Energy and Natural Resources for Europe, Middle East and Africa, and a few years as well at General Electric, leading globally the Power Digital, as well as a few years with an emerging French company called Axanta, focusing on smart building and smart geo storage. Let me introduce now the 3 panelists who were nice to make themselves available to participate in this panel. So first is Nizar Mazini. I would like Nizar to have a quick introduction of himself, the job and the function. Then Nassif Safwan, and then Wiam Samir. So first with Nizar.
Hello everyone. So my name is Nizar Mazini. I'm the market intelligence manager here in MASEN. I'm in charge of following and monitoring the evolutions and the new trends in the markets in general, and also part of the steering of the strategy here in MASEN.
Thank you, Nizar. You are based in Morocco. I forgot to mention I'm based in Paris here. We have like a global team here. Nassif Safwan from the Global Green Growth Institute. Please introduce yourself.
Thank you, and thank you all for the invitation for all the participants. So my name is Nassif Safwan, as you already mentioned, and I'm working with the Global Green Growth Institute. I'm the program lead of program called Design Arctic 6 Policy Approach, mainly focused on carbon finance. So I'm also expert in Arctic 6 of Paris Agreement. I'm in charge of carbon finance in this unit in Morocco, GGI Morocco. And I'm also responsible for renewable energy sector within GGI. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. And our last panelist is Wiam Samir from Sustain Way. Please, Wiam.
Thank you, Maher. So I'm Wiam. I'm managing Sustain Way, which is a consultancy pushing the boundaries of sustainability beyond the built environment. So I have a background in green buildings, and I've worked on several projects from Morocco's first LEED certified high-rise building to advising on major projects worldwide. And all of my professional journey has been driven by a deep commitment to sustainability in general. My experience is backed by also leadership roles like chairing the Morocco Green Building Council, which is an NGO part of a global network of 80 countries. And I'm excited for exploring new dimensions today. Let's go.
Thank you very much. So we will go through a few questions to every panelist. We will leave some time at the end as well for questions that we will pick up in the chat from the audience. For the ones who are comfortable asking the questions in French rather than English, please feel free to do it. I mean, even if you would like to ask the questions in Arabic, I guess, most of the panelists here will pick up the questions as well. So my first question will go to Nizar Mazini. How does the MASEN as a company, which is focusing on building more capacity in renewables, contribute to the Morocco's overall renewable energy goals, particularly in terms of securing a good portion of the country's mix between the existing traditional central power generation and the new renewable sources through the Horizon 2030?
So just to give a quick reminder, Morocco aims to reach a share of percent of renewable energy in its capacity mix before 2030. As of late 2030, the kingdom had around 4.6 gigawatt of renewable energy already operational in the grid. This represents a share of 42%. An additional 4.5 gigawatt is expected to be commissioned by 2027. So we are quite confident that Morocco will be able to achieve this target even before 2030. Concerning MASEN, MASEN has an active role in helping Morocco achieve its energy goals by mainly providing a clear framework for the development of large-scale energy projects. Talking about the framework, for example, when we go back to the first projects, our first one of the reasons that made the first projects go operational was an innovative structuring scheme that allowed the optimization of risk allocation. This scheme is constantly evolving through mainly diversified financing options, and also the monitoring of the evolution of the markets. Thank you very much for.
In terms of solar and wind as well, there are many regions in Morocco where you go south, west, or even north, where you find very good factors actually of wind generation as well. So I'm confident what you mentioned in terms of reaching the targets earlier is something realistic. My second question is to Nassif Safwan. Can you please provide an overview of the Global Green Growth Institute to which you belong as an establishment, and what's its core vision, its mission as an international intergovernmental organization?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Thank you for your interest for GGI. So GGI is called the Global Green Growth Institute. It was established as a treaty-based international intergovernmental organization in 2012 at the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development, which is also known as Rio Plus 20. Regarding GGI vision is to create low-carbon, resilient world of strong, inclusive, and sustainable growth, with the mission to support its members in transforming their economies into a green growth economic model. Speaking about members, GGI has currently now 45 member states and operate in over 40 countries, and operate as a trusted neutral advisor and integrated development partner to members and partner governments. Also in Morocco, GGI is embedded in the Ministry of the Energy Transition and Sustainable Development. GGI focused on reducing greenhouse gas emissions, creating green jobs, improving air quality, and enhancing adaptation to climate change. So this is the main focus of GGI in all countries. And we operate under a guiding framework of 5 core values, which is integrity, transformational, boldness, excellence, and inclusive. And the strategy for 2030, which is 10 years plan, it's aimed to supporting member countries, including government, in shifting toward environmentally sustainable and socially inclusive green growth. Last thing maybe worth mentioning is that GGI is also supporting the implementation of NDCs, which is National Determined Contribution, under the Paris Agreement. And membership to GGI is open to member states of the United Nations and regional integration organizations that have accepted the agreements of the establishment of GGI in 2012. Thank you.
Yeah, please. International organizations, intergovernmental, interact with a lot of bodies. Myself, I'm part of the Council of Engineers for Energy Transition, advising the UN Secretary General, and then seeking as well as a group of engineers globally to interact with organizations like yours, like the UNECE, like the IRENA as well. If these organizations do not work together, I don't think we can accelerate really the energy transition and the decarbonization globally. Thank you. Can you elaborate more on how Morocco does, in terms of the commitment to renewable energy, align with the global trends, and what implications does this have for foreign investors from your point of view?
Okay, thank you. Morocco's commitment to renewable energy is robust and forward-looking since 2012. It's aligning closely with the global trends towards sustainability, decarbonization, and green energy. The country has set ambitious targets, as Nizar already mentioned. I will be repeating because it's important. So Morocco is aiming to increase the share of renewable energies in its national energy network to 52% by 2030. And it has also a further commitment of achieving up to 80% by 2050. So it places Morocco as a leader in renewable energy in North Africa and highlights its potential as an energy hub, especially in relation to Europe and Africa. So since with the geographical position, we're at a midpoint between Europe and Africa, so it's the position is also important. So the Morocco's strategic focus on renewable energy is a response to its climatic condition and environmental challenges, including rising temperatures and decrease in precipitations, as we can see every year. And these challenges, along with its strong dependency on importing fossil fuels from foreign countries, is driving the country to invest heavily in renewable energy sources like solar and wind, and recently hydrogen as well, to meet its increasing energy demand while still mitigating the effects of climate change. So for the second part of the question, from an investor's perspective, Morocco's renewable energy sector offers a significant opportunities. As I said, the country's geographical position with access to both the Mediterranean and Atlantic positions Morocco at a potential bridge between Europe and Africa and Middle East as well. So Morocco's ambitious renewable energy projects like Noor, which was already completed, not only cater to domestic needs, but also have the potential to supply green energy to neighboring regions and countries, and that's the plan. Moreover, Morocco's renewable energy strategy includes developing a regional energy partnership with the European Union to become a Mediterranean energy hub. And this strategy enhances energy security not only for Morocco but for Europe, and supports also South-South cooperation, offering a compelling position for foreign investors that are looking to invest in sustainable strategies. Finally, I've mentioned briefly about hydrogen. So I think you already know. So 3 days ago, Morocco's launch of the Morocco offer for the development of green hydrogen sector underscored the nation's comprehensive commitment to renewable energy, because it's a strategic move that aims to leverage Morocco's rich renewable resources and infrastructures, diversify the potential of renewable sources, and making Morocco in a pivotal step within its journey towards a sustainable and low carbon future. Thank you.
side, that Morocco is a large industrial company as well, country in automotive, in aerospace, in different industries, in mill and mining, like companies like OCP, Management, for example. So the automotive sector seeking after building also factories, for instance, in Morocco and their value chain. All of them, they want to build a new industry, low carbon or zero carbon. And for that, you need a lot of renewable capacity. And I would be working for ONE or any of the actors, for example, of renewables in Morocco. I will ask myself, every day, how can I go faster and can build capacity faster, because there is a demand everywhere. So that's really exciting for all the actors. Nizar, can you elaborate on MASEN stakeholder coordination efforts and how they can contribute to the success of the projects?
Yes, of course. Well, first thing we need to know is that MASEN is present across the entire value chain of renewable energy development projects. So we go from the assessment of renewable energy resources to the carrying out studies prior to the qualification of the sites. We supervise the construction and the operation and maintenance of renewable energy plants. And we also are involved in the construction of the infrastructure necessary to connect the sites to the various national networks. So all this needs a close collaboration with many stakeholders. So, for example, with the public sectors, we work closely with ONE, which is a national utility, and the Ministry of Energy to define what are the projects that will best serve the needs of the grid. That's with the public sector. For the private sectors, we have our role is mainly in order to facilitate the deployment of renewable energy projects. So we play many roles with the private sectors. We act as a lender for the projects. We are also shareholder in the projects. We provide the land, so we make sure that the land that we provide for the projects are best suited for a given technology. We are also an off-taker, and we also provide and we manage common infrastructures. So as I said, all this. So we are kind of the interface between the public sector and the private sector, and like I said earlier, it's really a close collaboration with both public and private sectors.
Great. And these projects, of course, are quite complex.
Thank you very
in
much.
your role. Thank you. The permits take time, and of course, these infrastructure projects, you need to have an important know-how to work with all the actors and get things done, particularly also if you play the role of the off-taker. Nassif, what specific role does this GGGI, which stands for Global Green Growth Institute, play in supporting Morocco's transition to a green economy, particularly in relation to the nationally determined contribution, the NDC?
Okay, so just to give a little bit of background, launched since November 2015. So the GGI program in Morocco aims to support the process of implementing the National Sustainable Development Strategy, which we call in French SNDD, and the National Determined Contribution NDC, and also Sustainable Development Goals SDGs. With all that through the promotion and support of the implementation of green, inclusive, and sustainable development model, not only at the national level, but also at the territorial level. All this is aligned with advanced regionalization process adopted by the Kingdom of Morocco. To specifically come back to the NDC, so GGI provides technical support in development policies and incentives, identifying and designing bankable projects. So this is the main focus of our activities in the NDC area, and assisting in mobilizing funding for their implementation. So GGI's way to support the NDC is just can list in 3 ways. So either by the structuration of bankable projects, as I mentioned, as the most priority mission of GGI, or enhancing ambition through the establishment of policies and financial mechanism. Or the third option is to directly participate in investment projects, mainly for some specific technologies that are hard to finance and also need to support in order to see the light, like green hydrogen projects, for example, bio-CNG, compressed natural air gas. So this is the type of project that needs specific treatment. To come back to Morocco, Morocco, as already mentioned, has a very ambitious NDC target, which is 45.5% reduction by 2030. And NDC Morocco is also among the few NDC in the world that are 1.5 degrees aligned with the Paris Agreement. And to achieve that, Morocco needs all the necessary supports from all partners, not only GGI. In this regard, GGI is supporting the government of Morocco to achieve this goal through many activities. I will focus mainly on the activities related to green energy sector, as it's the focus of this webinar. I can start with GGI supporting subnational authorities in Morocco in accessing green financing for the implementation of programs and bankable projects. This involved designing and establishing multi-sector national financing vehicle, we call VNF in French, or NFV in English. This is to help local authorities, including regions, municipalities, and communes, to access to climate finance. And so this will help these regions and communities to have some extra finance to develop their own projects that are aligned with their area, and also to participate in the NDC contributions, as it will support finance on what we call in the NDC the conditional parts, which will be conditional of the external finance. So this is one activity. Another one is GGI collaborating with various actors for the Moroccan government to develop policies and incentives for bankable projects. I will later, when I will speak about renewable energy, I will be speaking about some policies and incentives. For example, GGI supports Morocco identifying mitigation opportunities within the biomass sector and assessing them in partnership with local partners to support the structuring of the program called Organic Waste to Energy Program that will develop 15 biodigesters in different regions in the country. So this is a very strategic program. We already started with 2 municipalities and also region in Tangier and Rabat, and also in parallel, so we are also elaborating a draft standard for the specification and use of biodigesters. There is also the development of a national methane roadmap for priority mitigation measures in Morocco, main source sectors. So these mitigation measures will help increase the NDC ambitions and also help to revise the next NDC that will happen in 2025 to include more activities activities that were not listed in the NDC of 2021, like biomass, green hydrogen. Always in the waste sector, so we work also on development of landfill gas assessments and the evaluation of waste mitigation strategies, and also an MRV, which stands for Measure Reporting and Verification System for the waste sector that will help track the NDC and also track the efforts that are happening, and also to be more transparent in the reporting to NUFCCC. There is also a project that is mainly related to green hydrogen, but it's mainly the preparation of a bankable project that will be presented to external investors that want to invest in green hydrogen, to give like a clear idea about the potential of Morocco, and also specific project to region or specific configuration that will be interesting for Eastern investors to come in. And this is totally aligned with what I will share with other colleagues regarding the Morocco roadmap that was published 2 years ago. There is also another project mainly related to the renewable energy sector that will also going to increase the NDC, which the project I'm leading in the country, which is called Design Article 6 Policy Approach. So, as you know, before going into details of the program, we also assist in policies, as I mentioned before, and we worked on the drafting of the policies related to the renewable energy sector called 1419, and which is the 1309 law that was first created in 2009, and also the self-generation law called Law 8221. Which is related to self-generation. So we also participate in the drafting of the decrees. And the program mainly focused on financing projects that are non-profitable. That means that projects that are either far from the grid or projects that need grid reinforcement. So this program is here to give extra financing through carbon finance and to support this project to see the light and complete the gap to make this project profitable. Last thing, there is also another projects on the pipe directly to contribute in the NDC, which are projects like offshore wind and floating solar that are still under discussion. So maybe I will stop here to give more time for other questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That is a very complete agenda, and thanks for all the details. The bankability is the key word. It becomes very easy to attract any investment if you justify the business case of bankability. CapEx plus OpEx is there. And if you have the right and tools, this is what I understood. This is of a great help actually to the potential investors. Thank you. Last question in this round, actually, to William, is what are the socioeconomic impacts of renewable energy development in Morocco, and how can foreign investors contribute to sustainable and inclusive growth?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to jump up about a comment on the bankability. You've talked about CapEx and OpEx, but what's important about these projects, just to link to my question, is that it's not only about financial returns, but it's also about environmental and social returns as well, which is really important to take into consideration. And to answer the question, Morocco's approach has been to integrate renewable energy as a central element of its national strategy, aiming to eventually reconcile socio-economic development with environmental sustainability and answer the triple bottom line at the same time. So the development of renewable energy projects, particularly through mega projects like we know, like Norwar ZZ, for example, has been instrumental in boosting local economies, creating jobs, green jobs as well, reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and so on. And also it enhances Morocco's energy independence by reducing reliance on imported fossil fuels. So foreign investors play a crucial role in this transformation by bringing in not only capital, but also technology and expertise. Their involvement can accelerate the pace of renewable energy projects, leading to quicker realization and socio-economic benefits as well. So by investing in Morocco's renewable energy sector, foreign investors can contribute to creating sustainable jobs, enhancing technological skills among the local workforce, and fostering regional development, particularly in rural areas and undeserved areas where generally these renewable energy projects are located. Also, the development of renewable energy in Morocco has shown a positive correlation with economic growth. So there was several studies that have found that there is a long-term causal link between renewable energy consumption and GDP growth, suggesting that investments in renewable energies not only contribute to environmental sustainability, but also to economic prosperity. And I will stop here.
Thank you. I mean, the question, including the keyword socioeconomic, certainly it shows there are two legs. One is the social one, and one is the economic one. The economic is purely about finance, capex, and opex, and certainly the society can develop much better if you have the two legs. And there is also studies in Europe that show that if you want to continue to grow, for instance, the transition to a cleaner world, for example, will create additional jobs and will create additional opportunities. While in the US, it depends who is the president. Actually, you might hear maybe two different voices depending on who is leading the country. So I would like, just before I go to the next round of questions, to remind all the participants to leave your questions somewhere in the chat, and then we will pick these questions once we have finished our multiple rounds. And now I will go to Nizar and ask him the next question is, how has MASEN adapted its strategies in response to the modernization and extension of the national legal framework? Of course, the legal framework is important everywhere. It could help or be a barrier and so on. So how did MASEN then adapt its strategy to that?
The mic, Nizar, the mic is muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
So, like I was saying, Morocco has devised a clear and comprehensive legal framework for the development of renewable energy. Like my colleague said earlier, we have the Law 1419 for the private sector, 8221 for the self-consumption, and 3716 for MASEN. So this framework has been conceived to ensure a cohesive development of renewable energy in Morocco that could also anticipate innovative solutions such as green hydrogen or electric mobility. So the thing I want to say is that MASEN has a clear framework where it can operate. So the improvements are maybe not in the legal aspect, not in the legal aspects, but more in the maybe technical and technological aspects. And in that sense, we have always make sure that we are up to date when it comes to what happens in the technological and economical field. That translates in the way we finance our projects. So the first projects has been financed in a way that we rely on the concessional financing, and since we follow the maturing of the renewable technologies, now we are going more and more into commercial financing. And just like I said, we also follow the technological evolutions of the sector. Like you all know, Norway one was CSP technology. Middle is CSP. Middle one is CSP mixed with PV. Middle two there will be a storage components. So the way we make sure our projects are always up to date is through close following of the evolution of the market. And I will end here.
The next question, I think, Nassif, you have answered most of it, probably in the previous comment you have made. But let me ask you, how does GGGI assist in mobilizing funding for the implementation of green projects in Morocco, and what strategies have been effective in attracting these investments? So maybe here is some return on experience, if you wish, if you have some success stories to tell.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I covered most part of this question in my last response. So yeah, just to structure my answer, so there is 3 ways that GGI is working, at least in the case of Morocco, to attract finance. So we have 3 type of ways of mobilizing investments. So there is climate finance, carbon finance, and also green investments services, as explained in my last answer. So regarding climate finance, I support the government of Morocco in accessing to climate finance through various mechanisms. For example, I can list 6 stories about GCF, which is Green Climate Fund, where GGI has helped Morocco receive a grant from the GCF to enhance access to climate finance in the country region through the national financial vehicle that I explained in my last feedback. There is also collaboration with Click Foundation to support subnational authorities in accessing green financing for programs and bankable projects. This was also developed through climate finance to enhance the readiness and also to develop a pipeline of projects. Another success story maybe is the success story that was conducted in Tangier region, where GGI developed and prioritized a pipeline of bankable project, climate resilient project in the Tangier region, including the design and implementation of trainers in order to keep the activity there, and also to enhance the local capacity regarding the topics related to the selected project. So this is mainly regarding climate finance. Carbon finance, I already mentioned earlier. There is 2 programs in Morocco that are using carbon finance. The first one is Organic Waste to Energy program. This program is related to destruction of organic waste to energy program that I mentioned with 15. The final target is 15 biodigesters in multiple regions in the country, with a total budget of almost $94 million in order to put in place this type of technology. And as you know, these technologies are very expensive, so that's why we are preparing the ground for investors, and with that we are integrating the component of carbon finance there in order to gain some extra financing. As you know, each ton of CO2 reduction from this project could be sold internationally through the Article 6 of the Paris Agreement, which we call ITMO's International Transfer Mitigation Outcomes. And this, with selling these credits, this means that there is an extra financing that will come to the country and also develop to initiate this complicated project. The other project in carbon market is the project I also mentioned earlier, which is the DAPA program. So this one is, as you know, regulation agency in Morocco has published the host capacity 1 month ago, and the point of this program is to go beyond this capacity and to incentivize projects that are even beyond this host capacity, mainly projects that are far from the grid or need reinforcement. So to prepare also the ground for investors to invest not only in profitable projects but also some other projects, and that will enhance the investment that will come to the country. So yeah, this is for carbon finance. The last point I would mention is regarding green investment services, which is services within GGI. These services focus mainly on mobilizing funding through investment in concrete projects. So this unit has mobilized over $7 billion of initial investment commitment for climate projects since 2015, which the point is to bridge the gap between the financiers and the projects by creating NFVs that blend public and private sources for financing. There is also a way that we are using also in the country, which is called the Korean Green New Deal Fund. So as you know, the headquarters, I forgot to mention that the headquarters of GGI is in South Korea, and this is also a way to have some finance to collaborate with KGNDF to support member and partner government to mobilize funding for green projects that need extra financing. GGI also expand its engagement around green climate bonds and green bonds also. We didn't do any experience right now in green bonds in Morocco, but this is also among the target that we're going to explore. So these strategies employed by GGI have been effective in attracting investments and mobilizing funding from green projects in Morocco. So yeah, so maybe I will stop here.
Thank you. That's really impressive, what I'm hearing here, and how much experience and how much also return and the value analysis of what happened in Morocco is impressive here. So I'm really very very pleased with knowing because this area of green finance is in general something which is not well under control, or you don't have all the actors cooperating together for the benefits of developing the renewables and the decarbonization here. So that's excellent. So I would jump to Wiam and ask about the challenges then. What are the main challenges and the opportunities in the same time associated with the decarbonization journey in Morocco? And how does renewable energy factor address all these factors?
Okay. So Morocco's decarbonization journey presents, of course, both significant challenges and opportunities, with renewable energy playing an important role in addressing those. I will start with the Morocco Country Climate and Development Report that was issued by the World Bank, which highlights that investing in climate action will bring substantial benefits, including job creation, revitalization of rural areas, and positioning the country as a green industry hub. Achieving a resilient and low carbon pathway by the 2050 requires an estimated $78 billion investment, focusing on managing water resources, decarbonizing the economy, and enhancing resilience to all hazards and especially to floods. So Morocco has been proactive in harnessing its abundant solar and wind resources, evident from mega projects like I already mentioned. There are the world's largest concentrated solar farm, the Tarfaya wind farm, which is one of Africa's largest as well. And the country aims to reduce greenhouse gas emission by 18.3% by 2030, leveraging its high solar radiance and wind levels, and also hydrogen potential now. So despite missing its 2020 target for renewable power capacity by a small margin, Morocco is today on track to meet its 2030 target of the 52% we've already mentioned earlier of renewable energy in its energy mix. And that was also issued in a report by EY. However, Morocco's transition to a green energy future is not without its hassle. So the country is still heavily dependent on fossil fuels, with coal comprising a significant portion of electricity production today. And there is a growing demand for power, and the population is increasing, just like all the southern countries, which indicate that there is a substantial need for expansion in renewable energy capacity to meet future needs, not just only to decarbonize the current consumption. And the shift toward green energy also faces other challenges, such as the need for more international support for decarbonization, and also criticism on the focus on large-scale power plants over small and local projects. So despite these challenges, Morocco's commitment to renewable energy and decarbonization remains strong. The country's strategic investment in renewable energy infrastructure, policy reforms, and international partnerships positions it as a leader in Africa's green revolution, with the potential to significantly influence the continent's energy landscape. And finally, I will go back again to Green Hydrogen Initiative, which represents also a crucial opportunity with its for the decarbonization journey, offering solutions to energy security and sustainability challenges. And this project demonstrates Morocco's role in advancing global green energy transition and innovation, and still staying ahead with everything that's being done.
Thank you. I would add as well the infrastructure investments could be also a challenge if there is no enough investments. For example, the smart grids, because we need to connect all the renewables as well and make them work. Or even if you have microgrids and local energy communities sometimes, but certainly, there is much more collaboration needed between the grid, the stakeholders, the providers, the distributed generation operators. They have to work all together to make it work. Thank you. Nizar, can you share some examples of recent renewable energy projects and their impact in the country as part of the overall energy transition plan?
Yes, of course. Each of MASEN's projects represents a kind of flagship. Is kind of a flagship. For example, if you take, for example, Norwar, it was the first solar project first big scale solar project in Morocco that helped put Morocco on the renewable energy map, and it was at the time a flagship project for solar thermal energy. And as I said earlier, we closely follow the evolution of the market. We have Normiddels 1 that will be the Normiddels complex that will be soon be the start construction, which is an innovative technology that provides both flexible energy and competitive energy. We also have Kudia Bayda, the repowering of Kudia Bayda, which is one of the first. The original Kudia Bayda was one of the first wind projects in Morocco, and I'm talking about the recent repowering of the projects. Thanks to the repowering, now we have been able to double the capacity and also have a very competitive tariff. So just like I said, each of MASEN's project it serves as a showcase to show that competitive and complex renewable energy projects can be developed here in Morocco.
I appreciate that you have been brief. I would like also to ask the other panelists now to be brief on these last two questions, because I would like to leave also space for the audience to pick up their questions in the chat. My question to Nassif is, in what manners does GGGI engage with the Moroccan government and other stakeholders to guarantee that all the execution is efficient for all these green growth initiatives at the subnational level?
Yeah, very important question, because if we do all this effort without monitoring and checking the result in the end, that means that all the efforts were useless. So maybe I will be brief, as you mentioned. I will just list some points and some strategy that GGI is doing in order to effectively monitor the impacts. So first of all, GGI is signed a memorandum of understanding with the government of Morocco, and also GGI offices is embedded in the Ministry of Energy Transition and Sustainable Development. And I'm mentioning this because this is improving communication, and also making the communication with also subnational agencies and other actors very easy. To come back directly to the way we are doing things is we are establishing for the majority of the project what you call steering committees, with the ministries sending the letters to the actors in order to ensure a proper follow-up with the rigorous way. And also in some ways we are also doing follow-up actions, follow-up committees in order to track the project milestones. So this partnership facilitates ongoing dialogue and advisory services, and this enables also GGI to understand regional priorities and needs, because we meet them on a regular basis, and also prioritizing green actions in subnational level. GGI also conducts capacity building workshops because it's not only important to target change, but also to enhance the capacity of the local region in order to be self-dependent, and also to try to follow up in close way their program in their region. So there is also a training programs that I mentioned, technical assistance to build the capacity for government officials and also other stakeholders that are involved in the programs. So by helping these regions to design and prioritize their projects, so GI in this way also ensures that initiatives are aligned with national priorities and effectively addressed with local challenges, of course. Maybe a last point to mention is the Morocco government is GGI is also helping the government of Morocco in monitoring and evaluating the impact of green growth initiative at the national level, ensuring that projects are effectively monitored, progress is assessed, and strategies are refined to continue improvement. And this is mainly shared with local stakeholders and also with the ministry that are involved in the project in order to maintain a certain level of monitoring and also to duplicate the experience to other regions, for example, and also to duplicate technology if it's successful in a specific region. So yeah, maybe to be brief, I will stop here.
Thank you. And that last point is very important because you communicate end to end, and then you report somewhere the impact that the government and the officials can measure the impact and the progress very well. And I guess you have experience dealing with a lot of governments, so you have a methodology how to communicate it in a proper way and transparent way. Last question before we pick up the questions from the audience is to Wiam. What are some key drivers and motivations for the foreign investors who are looking to engage in Morocco's renewable energy sector? Simple.
Okay, so foreign investors are drawn to Morocco's renewable energy sector for several compelling reasons. Firstly, Morocco's strategic location, as I've already mentioned, at the confluence of Europe, Sub-Saharan Africa, and the Middle East, combined with its political stability, which was also a huge point for Morocco compared to its neighbors, and also world-class infrastructure, because we have quite advancement within the infrastructure as well. So all of this makes it an attractive regional business hub. There is also the government commitment to renewable energy, which I've already mentioned, which offers a clear roadmap for green investment. Also, the country boasts considerable potential in wind energy thanks to its extensive coastline and the high average wind speed, especially in the north region and south region as well, making it a lucrative area for wind power projects. And also, there is the Energy Pro initiative, which further incentivizes private investment by offering access to the national grid and an attractive tariff for excess electricity produced, highlighting the government's support for reducing production costs through self-produced energy. Moreover, Morocco's renewable energy investment has been ranked the highest among the MENA region, signaling strong investor confidence and the success of its renewable energy policies. We have the Morocco offer for green hydrogen development that emerges as a compelling incentive as well for foreign investors, showcasing Morocco's proactive governance and strategic positioning to become a leader in the renewable energy domain. So all of these factors, combined with the government's development plan and the new development model, which aims to significantly increase the share of renewable energy in the country's energy consumption, present a robust framework for foreign investors looking for opportunities in a growing and supportive market for renewable energies. And I'll stop here.
I would like to add as well the stability of the country, the industrial tradition, and the well-educated skills and talents as well, who have a great level to go into this renewable energy sector, which is very important for the investors. Now, let's look if there are any questions in the chat. We have 5 minutes left. Okay, if this is not the case, well, I will take the opportunity here to go for some closing remarks. So first is thanking all the panelists for the quality of their comments, of their answers, the huge knowledge you provided, and encourage the attendees and the registrants really to go to the recorded video and to pick up all the information you provided. It's very encouraging and motivating to see how this climate of investment is really favorable here in Morocco, and the facilities that the investors will get in the country. I would like also to emphasize the importance of collaboration between the public and the private, and the collaboration also with the financial institutions, even if you are looking after socioeconomic benefits, and not only economic benefits, but most of the banks, for example, have also impact-based finance these days. So they finance things also that are having a purpose and a mission. So I would like to thank all for participating in this webinar, which gives us a lot of food for thought and opens the way for those companies interested in investing in Morocco, or who simply want to know a little more. I mean, you've got the contact here of the panelist. And I would like also to take this opportunity to remind you that in June, on 11th, 13th, in Morocco will be held the Morocco Energy Week Summit and Exhibition, and everyone could register through the link in the description. Thank you very much. I wish you a Ramadan Kareem to everyone, and hope you will have a good iftar later on today. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Maher.
Thank you.